You're listening to It Matters with Kelly Kors on AM 1240 and 95.3 FM WJON.
You know, this was cool back in 1987 when Michael Jackson's Bad album was released. Your word is mine. Okay, you're right. Just show your feet. Watching the video, they're all dancing around in parachute pants and jackets with too many zippers on them. But in 1987, trust me, guys, this was cool. Jump on, get on me. I remember back in the 80s where you'd walk into a street fight and a dance party, a fully choreographed dance party would break out. That's what happened on the mean streets of Larimore, North Dakota. Let me tell you. It's time for our small business spotlight, and the second small business spotlight that features a nonprofit, because we're going to be talking about the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Wendy from Agency North in Sauk Rapids, right?
Sartell.
I'll let you introduce our guests and take it away.
Well, I'm very excited to have Jenny Tice here from the Alzheimer's organization here locally. And her and I have known each other for a long time. That, again, is about community, all the connections. And we were just talking before we went on air. I have a very personal story with this, as I have lost two of my family members to Alzheimer's. My grandma, about 8 years ago, who I was very close to, and my dad just a few weeks ago to Alzheimer's. So it's very close to my heart. And so I've decided to put in action, and I've invited friends and family to join me on the walk this year, and I think it will be very meaningful and special. So I was happy to have Jenny in and talk about the walk and Alzheimer's. And welcome, Jenny.
Thanks so much for having me, Wendy.
All right, Jenny, let's talk about the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And we'll start by asking the big question. Now, the McMahons, we all have dementia in our family. How does Alzheimer's and dementia kind of interrelate?
So I like to describe it as dementia is an umbrella, and underneath the umbrella are various forms of dementia. Alzheimer's happens to be one form. It actually is the most common form. And so at the Alzheimer's Association, our vision really is to make it a world without Alzheimer's and all other forms of dementia.
Fantastic. It's a great cause. It is a great organization and a great way to raise money for continuing research and development. So how many just Minnesotans, do you know how many currently, right here, right now, suffer from some form of Alzheimer's?
Right now, we know of 99,000 Minnesotans.
Good golly. That's a big number. And then I suppose every one of those patients has to be cared for in some way. And sure, there's nursing homes and specialized care, but for a lot of especially early Alzheimer's patients, it's the kids, it's the neighbors, those unlicensed caregivers that are really doing a lot of the work.
Right. So in the United States, there are 6 million Americans with Alzheimer's and 11 million unpaid caregivers. And that really is, typically it is family, friends, a spouse, other loved ones. And my heart goes out to the caregivers because they give so much of themselves. And one thing that we do at the Walk to End Alzheimer's, this disease, it's a very devastating disease, but at the walk, we really try to make it a celebration of everybody who is on the journey, who has walked the journey, or who is currently walking the journey, to let people know that they are not alone. It's a very isolating disease, and there's still a stigma kind of with this disease. When people have Alzheimer's or some form of dementia, it's not something they tend to tell a lot of people about. And when they do tell people, people might start treating them differently. And those, especially in the earlier stages, want people to know that they have good days and they have bad days. And sometimes, they are right there with us, and other times,
Yep.
They may slip to a different reality. And Wendy and I were just talking about how when you're with somebody who has Alzheimer's or dementia, their reality becomes your reality. And so you live right there with them in whatever
You learn
moment.
to appreciate the good days. That's kind of the takeaway from, at least my takeaway from dementia. Let's talk about the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It is a nationwide fundraising event to support Alzheimer's research here in the United States of America. Last year, you had 500 people, and your goal this year is 600. It is September 10th at Lake George. So if someone's listening and they say, it's about time that I get a team together to do this Walk to End Alzheimer's, how do they get started?
Absolutely. It's very easy to get started. And we like to tell people it doesn't cost anything to join us at Walk. A lot of people fundraise, but don't feel like I don't have funds and so I can't walk. But you just go to alz.org/walk. You'll type in St. Cloud, Minnesota, or, whatever your zip code is. It will bring up the St. Cloud Walk, and you can just sign up online. If somebody doesn't have access to a computer, please still join us that day. We will do registration the day of as well.
So you'll do registration on the day of. How many people should be on a team, and what's expected of the team members?
So Wendy is a team captain, and
There you
so
Oh, yes. Through Agency North, I have a team. And so our team goal was 2,000. Is that kind of, I don't know. Do people have different goals they set?
people do set different goals. 2,000 is sort of kind of the national average, and so that populates for you.
But of course, we can go over. You know me, I'm competitive.
No,
Not Wendy Hendricks.
not Wendy.
But like Jenny said, I wanted people to know that anyone is welcome to walk, whether they donate or walk. Another thing is, it's very easy to donate online. People can just click on, and each team person has a page where you can share your story, as I shared mine. And so it's just very special.
So how many people are on your team?
I think I have about 5 so far, but I'm expecting a lot more. So.
Now, Jenny, the only experience I have with these walks is the American Cancer Society, the Relay for Life, where you walk all night. In this case, how long are you expected to walk? Are you relaying where there's just always one person from the team on, or are we all walking together? How does it all work?
So at Lake George at 9 a.m. on September 10th, we're going to have sort of check-in and registration. We have sponsor booths and food and music. And then at 10 a.m., we do our opening ceremony and a promise garden ceremony. The walk immediately follows. And so this year, the big loop at Lake George is opened again because road construction is done. And so it is 3/4 of a mile on the big loop. So about 2 times around the large loop around Lake George will be our walk. I always tell people, you walk as far or as often as you like. We definitely will have people with Alzheimer's and dementia at the walk, and sometimes walking one time is a big deal for them. And if somebody isn't able to physically walk, they are still more than welcome to come join us.
Absolutely.
And you said I could bring my puppy Jax, right?
Okay, stop. What kind of puppy?
He's become a celebrity. He's a little Shih Tzu. And of course, he's been in photo shoots and videos. And so you have the opportunity to see Jax if you come and walk.
That should, just draw out 5 or 6 teams right there.
Absolutely. I am so excited for Jax. The other thing that we see, Wendy, purple is our color. So you come dressed in purple, and Jack should have something purple, too.
Oh, he does. He has a Vikings shirt. I'll have him wear that day.
There's no accounting for taste, but that's neither here nor there. Now, the Alzheimer's Association funds research worldwide. There are some interesting drugs in the pipeline that may help us, well, I don't want to say prolong the life, but ease the life of Alzheimer's patients. Is that correct?
Right. So one of the most exciting parts of my job is the research. And in July of every year, we have an international research conference. And this year, one of the key takeaways are there are 4 drugs that are currently in the pipeline that we hope, will go through FDA approval in the next few years. And so that is always very exciting for me. I want, I would love to be in my career when we have the first survivor.
That would be fantastic. That's always a great part in the Relay for Life when you have the survivors walk. And hopefully it's just a matter of time before we can have a survivors walk for Alzheimer's as well. That would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
So it is September 10th at Lake George. Starts at, what did you say, 9 in the morning?
9 a.m.
Okay, what happens if I don't wake up till 10? I can still show up, right?
You can still show up at 10 o'clock.
I'm bringing my Siberian Husky, and we'll have Jax
excellent.
and Reno just battle to the death.
And this always goes so fast, our time. I wanted Barry to talk a little bit about just nonprofits. Jenny is the second nonprofit we've had on, and just how important it is for our local businesses to be supporting nonprofits.
Well, thank you, Wendy. Well, nonprofits are business. They bring dollars into the community. They look for dollars, but those dollars, they hire employees. They spend it businesses to support their nonprofit. And several conversations we've had during this program is everybody needs employees. Everybody needs employees. And well-ran businesses do things to keep their employees. They use engagement strategies. And as you were talking about this, I'm just thinking, businesses and small businesses do support walks for several worthy nonprofits. What a great way to engage your employees. You could have a celebration and make it an outing and do something special with your employees. And they feel good that they know that you care about other than just running your business. And you see that too, that small businesses have teams that go out, and it's a great way for employee engagement, ways for employees to socialize and network with other businesses that are on the walk. So that's a positive from the small business development side of things, a little tip.
Yeah, Barry, I thought that was fascinating. You reminded people that nonprofits are, in fact, businesses. There's just a little bit of a difference in their purpose. What differences are there between, if you want to start a nonprofit or you're working in a nonprofit, how do your concerns, your day-to-day activities, the things that keep you up at night, vary from, say, a small business owner like Wendy, who's got a realty office?
Well, first of all, running a legal nonprofit, you have to figure, how do I get funds, grants, donations, or if there's some things I can do to my nonprofit that's within the tax code to bring money into the nonprofit. Then you have a board of directors and careful selection of a good board of directors. I've been doing this for a long time, and I to be honest with you, get people coming in, I want to do a nonprofit. We discourage them. We say, if you want to do it, you can go for it, but let's really ask the questions, because there's a big misconception out there. I'm going to be a nonprofit and the money's just going to drop.
Is that true, Jenny?
Yeah, Jenny, yeah. You walk that walk every day, and we were having that conversation before we went on.
Right. It's definitely a skill to ask people for money. My kids think it's like my magical talent. But we're also talking too, in addition to me, there is my coworker Meredith, who takes care of local programs, care, support, and education. And then we have administration, and like Barry said, a very, very good board of directors.
That, I think, makes all the difference in the world. A really active, involved board of directors can really cause the business or the nonprofit really to explode.
Absolutely. And you need people that don't always, you don't have to be close. You need people that are business-minded, maybe not so much driven by the mission. You need people that are driven by the mission. You need somebody that has some legal acumen, accounting, marketing, grant writing, just a lot of things that can be that extra set of eyes. Being on a successful nonprofit board, I see how complicated it is to keep all the pieces going together.
And now more than ever, it's important again for business owners not only to support nonprofits, but to step up and be on a board. I've been on several boards, and to me, it's just very rewarding. It pulls me out of my day to day, and it's for this. It's a cause I'm passionate about. But during COVID, I was on chair of the board of Feeding Area Children Together, and I just was introduced to such a new group of people, and I had no idea the needs of some of the schools in our area. So it's all about community. That's what it all comes back to, is community.
I'm better as a volunteer than on the board because any meeting I'm involved in has a tendency to go off the rails from time to time. A lot.
I've been accused of that a couple of times.
Yeah,
It probably comes as no surprise. I mean, you get paid to talk. As a consultant, I get paid to talk.
You get paid?
Well,
Oh, wait a minute. I got to have a talk here. What's going on?
don't let that get out of the community. They go, he's getting paid for that?
Wait a
No.
minute. He's getting paid? Hold on a second. All right, Jenny, one last time. The Walk to End Alzheimer's is September 10th at Lake George, starting at 9 a.m. in the morning. If you want to join a team, and we never did decide what's the kind of optimum number of people on a team, or is it just as many people as you can find?
Yes, as many people as you can find. And you can even join Walk just as an individual. But teams are always much
And
more
anyone
fun.
can join my team.
Yes.
All right.
I'm on
ex-
Team Wendy.
yes,
I won't be walking, but I was on Team. I'm supporting Team Wendy.
For more information, you can go to alz.org/walk and then enter in St. Cloud zip code. It'll send you to the St. Cloud site. We will have a link on WJON as well once I write this story up. Hey, it's a great cause. It is. These are always such great events. Here's hoping for good weather for you. And hopefully all goes well on the 10th of September.
Wonderful.
Yes, see you there. Thank you, Jenny.
See, Jen,
Thank
this
you.
wasn't that hard, was it?
No, you made it very painless.
Yeah, well, it's radio. It's not supposed to be painful. If it was painful, that would be television.
It's
You wouldn't
easy
be
to
here.
talk about something you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
Jenny Tice is with the Alzheimer's Association here in St. Cloud. Stand by for ABC News coming up at 11 o'clock. Local news from the WJON newsroom at 11:05 or so. And then the Master Gardeners are in. We'll talk about monarch butterflies. We'll talk about sun scalding. We'll talk about your phone calls, too. The Master Gardeners are in next on WJON.
Feeling blue, oh, how I feel.